Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Gospel of Poets. I should probably take these headphones off
Yeah, take them off.
because I can't hear myself. Welcome to the Gospel of Poets. This is your girl, Sherry Purpose Hall, and we got stuff to deal with today. Yes, we do. Let me get in front of the microphone because I'm in front of you and the microphone. Welcome. Normally, we start off with a poem, but you know what? I'm going to jump right on into it because we have lots to discuss, right? So, if anybody wants to know more about the votes that are coming up, and that will happen in November, I have been privileged to a documentary. There is a certain vote coming up in November regarding cannabis and its legalization, right? And I have been privy to a documentary that talks about the different places it has been legalized and what has happened there, or how it was legalized, or the ways that either it was or was not beneficial. Um, I'm going to have a screening for that, for documentary. And I would like anybody who wants to be on the panel, proponents or opponents. And please, here is my requirement for proponents and opponents. I need you to be learned, right? I need you to have some education in the field. I ain't talking about, bachelor's, master's. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, research, studies, and different things like that in the field. I want you to know what you're talking about, whether you're going to be a proponent or an opponent on this panel. I think it's important that the people get the information that they need. I think it's important people know what's out there, know what's going on. And this very much affects not only places where cannabis has been legalized, but places where cannabis has not yet been legalized. I also want people who are able to speak to decriminalization and what does that actually mean, and what does it mean for our residents, and what does it mean for our citizens. So if anybody has that kind of information, if anybody has that kind of clout, if anybody has that kind of research that can share that on a panel, hit me up. Holla at your girl. Website is www.spokenpurpose.com, and or you can hit us at TGOPKC on Facebook, right? So, with me today, I have TL Williams.
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, in the building. We have myself. We got the kids. They over here. Say hi. Okay, you're like waving, and we're on the radio. Okay, well, we're on the radio, so what else? So, did I actually turn the camera around? This is my problem right now. Okay, turn the camera around. Here we go. There we go. I meant to show you them. Say hi. Hi. Okay, so as I said, just to recap, first thing I spoke about is issues that we have on the ballot, and things coming down the pipeline for us, one of which is legalization of marijuana. I want to hear from proponents and opponents. I want to hear from both, right? And I want to put you on a panel. I want to hear from you, devise this, and schedule a time that is mutually beneficial, and where the community can come out and where you can get the information out to the communities. Vote is coming down the pipeline. I believe the date is November 6th. Get out and vote. All right. But we need to know how this affects us, how this affects our community, and I want to hear from both sides. Anybody who knows me, knows I am definitely not a fan of propaganda. Knows that I am a fan of actually being able to debate, and my students know as well. You need to be able to debate from both sides of the issue. So you should know that the viewing of this documentary and the panel that ensues will be level handed because I need to hear both sides of all the information. as well as I'm going to view the documentary myself. I'm going to find out where they source their material from, and I am going to read before this panel happens, right? For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who are, Netflixians, I like to call you guys, that like to watch documentaries.
What you call? Oh, Netflixian.
Netflixians.
That would be me.
You,
Yes.
Mr. T.L. Williams.
$8 a month.
Hey, but see, our Netflixians, the ones who like to watch all the documentaries, and I ain't banging on you, you know what I'm saying? I watch documentaries too. I'm that person. I'm kind of a geek, right? The people who, what was that documentary that talked about meat and the industry of meat and meat processing that made everybody say, I'm not eating no meat.
Right.
All those documentaries. Let me tell you something. They're great works of art. The people have put in numerous time and hours on them, but they're only 50 minutes, an hour. They're fragmented. They don't carry or contain absolutely all the information. They don't exhaust the topic. They don't give you everything that you need. So the purpose of a documentary is to bring awareness and open the eyes. But after the documentary has been on, it is then your responsibility to research behind what they have said. Kind of like, let me think of, let's say, when Zeitgeist documentary came out, when Super Size Me came out, when, all these different documentaries, they're great, they're good. Ma'afa 21 is another documentary. Yeah, I believe what they said, but yeah, I also did the research after watching the documentary. So you can trust me, you can count on me to do that for you, to do the research. Next, let's see here. I will read a poem because I didn't start with a poem. I jumped right in with issues, right? My bad, yo. This poem is untitled, unfinished. Somebody can help me finish it, holla at your girl. It was a marvelous clash, a wondrous clash, hit stick to head, drum beat bass, boom, a symbol of all things I, liberated through the snare, the tom-tom, the Latin Afro-Cuban I, listen, worship, hear the rhythm of an indigenous thing thump in my meat, lost culture greets me, taps my foot, ground, yet carries away, I am no longer here. I hear, it sounds like marching angels marching an army. I hear the heartbeats of the unjustly slain echo, reminding us not to say their names but reclaim the right stolen. I wear a head wrap of beats. I hear a war raging, drums drowning out equality chants over the top for my just due. Give us our just due. Give us all, not just so we can equal to you. I hear bell chimes and the click of doors, families returning home, babies coming home, lost ones coming home. I hear the clangs of chains dropping, hearts unlocking. Rocks that once cried out, split and breaking, dehydrated scales and planks crack, fall, hit the ground. I hear crowning birth and world change. I hear plink of tools cutting trees. I hear the plinks and pops on nails into feet and wrists. I drip of blood. I hear the ground rumble and the sky darken. I hear the veil torn. I hear work. I hear work. I hear my healing from a carpenter. Beating, striking, putting me back together, and with the playing of those drums, I see me whole. Dancing, us free, us praise, us healed, us healed, us healed. It was a marvelous clang. That is that piece. That's new. I don't know what to call it. Help your girl out. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Poets have problems naming poems. I'm just putting it out there. A lot of times we be either named it the first sentence or the last word or the reoccurring thing. And naming is a tool. I got this education from our own illustrious poet in Kansas City, Natasha Ria El Scari. Well, she's an international person, but she's from right here. And she said, the title of your poem does a lot of the work. And I have come to find that to be true. I use the title of my poems as a tool to kind of clue the listener in on what they're about to get, what they're approaching, what's about to happen. Even especially if I'm using a persona to address a bigger issue, I'm going to use the title of the poem to clue people into what's going on. Hey, girl. Hey, Caramel, a.k.a. T-Blaze. How are you?
T-Blaze.
T-Blaze, tuning in for the live. So, I use the title of my poems to do some of the work of the poem. It helps me not to have to be so wordy in the poem, not to feel like I have to explain and exhaust everything in the poem. There is an art of brevity to poetry that I have been for years trying to engage myself in, and I'm now finally getting the picture just a little bit. Oh, you gonna heart the brevity? That's how we doing it out here right now. Yeah, anybody who knows my past knows that I could rip a poem 9 minutes. Like 9-10 minute poem, 2-piece poem. I'm gonna just break it off in the middle and call it 2 pieces. Yeah. Learning the craft, learning your craft, learning art is very important. I invite you guys, let me dip down, get my planner. So I can get y'all some real dates and information, you know what I'm talking about? All right, so I invite everyone to join me in September. My workshops are always the 4th week of the month, but the workshop this month is on September 26th. Hey, Mother Mary. September 26th is the workshop. It will be held at the Uptown Arts Bar. It is free $9.99, and it is a community performance and writing workshop. We do the first half writing, second half performance, okay? So I invite you to come and learn with me, learn from me. Here's the thing. I share with you either things that I have happened upon in my trying to better myself or things that I have been taught, because I don't see a crime in sharing the information that I was given, especially if it comes from someone great. And everyone's great. I get all kinds of information from my audiences, feedback from books, feedback from all kinds of different things. So if you want to join me for the workshops to get that feedback from me, also you get the feedback of your community, right? Our community of poets, hey there. Our community of poets are lovely people. And in this writing workshop, it's all kinds that come. So we have fiction writers, nonfiction, prose, poets, people who are just beginning, people who are pros at this, people with all different styles. And we are able to open up a dialogue around the craft and around writing and around what we do. We also talk about subjects outside of just writing, because a lot of times our world and our work is informed in what is going on in our worlds, right? So, hello. Okay. So, T-Blaze is also about to start a poetry cafe at the Y soon. She doesn't have details for us yet, but she is going to keep us posted. Since I have your ear, girl, when you get that thing started, you might want to come on here and holler at your girl. You know what I'm saying? Open invite. The more poetry that we have in the city, the more of the art form that we have, the more that we get people writing and thinking. What's good, Mr. Dupree? The more that we have people writing, thinking, with an informed process, the better our art gets as a collective, the better our community gets as a collective. I have people who are like, okay, I'm not necessarily a writer, but I want to learn how to organize my thoughts. I want to know how to communicate effectively. I've had people come to the writing workshop that, I have an interview tomorrow. Okay, that's a part of performance. Let's get up here and let's get it. Let's get you together and gather you up so you can go be the best you. And that's what we're trying to do at the writing and performance workshops, is help people present their best selves. I know, right? She's here too. Miss Terry says, hi, Helen. I don't know where Helen went, but she's here. So that's what we're trying to do as an effect of the writing workshops. This September will also be my year-long anniversary of doing this. Woo! Yay. It has been a year, honey, of having these writing workshops every fourth Wednesday at the Uptown Arts Bar.
But you didn't always do it at the Uptown Arts Bar, did you?
I did. That's
Always?
where I actually started the community writing and performance workshops.
Okay.
However, other workshops, I've had other workshops, other places, one-offs, different things. I kind of found my wind in workshopping, not because, I'm such a wonderful teacher, not because of that. I found my wind in workshopping because it actually gives the feedback needed. It actually builds community, and I'm all about building community and infrastructure.
That's right.
And it is fun facilitating workshops. It is fun hearing the different ideas that people have. It is fun listening to things that people create after exercises, because if anyone has ever been to one of my writing workshops, I do some pretty crazy exercises. I think people will tell you that their favorite exercise is cuss words. Don't tell nobody. Cuss words is the best exercise, I have to say myself. Toot toot, beat beat, because it gives people freedom to say everything that they want to say.
Freedom. What about those people that are really shy?
That's all right.
Uh-huh.
I myself am an introvert.
Uh-huh.
And let's explain the difference in that, right? I am an introvert. My husband is an extrovert. However, my husband is shy, has a bit of anxiety. I don't. So I gets in, I gets it done. I can successfully ambivert or extrovert in public and do the things. But for real, I'm going to be like a lunatic if I don't get some downtime, if I don't get the quiet time, if I don't get to come back to myself. In those times that I'm coming back to myself, that's when I'm doing my research. That's when I'm writing. That's when, all that stuff. Hey, Morgan, and congrats, newlyweds. Yes. And you're practicing cuss words after you get off work. Are you writing the cuss words down, Morgan? This is what I want to know. Are you writing the cuss words down? Okay. All right. And you're practicing cuss words after you get off work.
Do the cuss words exercise.
Are you writing the
It's
cuss
fun.
words down, Morgan?
It's funny
This is
how
what
you
I wanna
have the
know. Are you
freedom to
writing
do
everything
everything
you
you
want
want
to
to
do, and then yet still people, they get to the deeper issues and don't necessarily. They really talk about what they needed to talk about rather than just doing all the cussing. It does seem the opposite. I love the effect it has. So you out here being too short in your car after work? That is actually who Marcus, you will be appropriate. But that is who actually inspired this exercise. Long story short, I'm a hip hop head, right? First time I heard cuss words by Too Short, my life was changed. My whole life was changed by this one thing. And I just remember like, oh my God, he said all that? Like, what? If you do your hip hop research, this is also the song that got him sued by the president. So we got, history with this song. But yeah, that song actually inspired that exercise. And don't get it wrong, the exercise is a lot of fun, but it's a lot of healing as well. It's a lot of healing. So if I get people to say that they're coming to the year anniversary of my writing workshop, I may let you cuss a little. I may let you do cuss words. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. That will be September 26th, 7 o'clock p.m., Uptown Arts Bar. If anybody else wants me to come out, do workshops with them and different things like that, I have done workshops at Rosebrooks, done workshops at the libraries, done workshops at the Black Archives. I mean, we have a good time in the workshops and build community. So, let's work together. Let's uplift each other. Let's learn how to hone our crafts all together. Yes. Okay. Next thing, what time is it, Terrence?
It is 10:28.
Oh, it's on the wall. See what happens when you don't look up or look forward and you're looking down at your phone. Let that be a lesson to all of you. Don't text and drive. Don't walk and do phone things or
wear your
whatever.
seatbelt.
Wear your seatbelt. As my mentor Ed Rollins would say, drink your Ovaltine. Be young and have fun. Get your colonics or whatever. So yeah, it's 10:29. I was just doing a time check, making sure I was where I was. Next up, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for you. A lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. It's good stuff coming down the pipeline. Yes. So starting every Tuesday night.
Yes.
Every Tuesday night.
Yes.
Every Tuesday night. Arson Spitfire Mike Nights. Let me show you the flyer. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Yes, I will post this. Let me get a little bit closer. Every Tuesday night at the Equal Minded Cafe, which is located at 4327 Troost. Doors open at 7:30. Doors and list opens at 7:30. And show starts at 8, and we're running from 8 to 11. First 3 Tuesdays of the month is an open mic, and last Tuesday is slam. And if there is perchance a 5th Tuesday, right here, baby, we gonna have. Can y'all see that? All right, we're gonna have a death match.
Yeah, and the event page is on your page, right?
Event page is on the East of Red Art House, so I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Exciting. Yeah. But a death match, haiku or compliment death match. Let me tell you what that is. It is a marvelous thing. I will have to put up some video of those. A haiku death match is exactly how it sounds. You get at least 16 people. I'm going to put them in brackets, and we're going to go, it goes down. We're going to do the best 2 out of 3, best 3 out of 5, best 4 out of 7. And best 9 out of 17. And these brackets go down, right? So you face head off. 16 people face head off, get down to 8. 8 people face head off, get down to 4. 4 people face off, get down to 2. Those 2 people go back. Best 9 out of 17. So it's deep, but you got to have them haikus. Like, you need at least 43, 47 haikus if you want to be the haiku champ in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Haiku champ. For the compliment death match, brackets look the same, but this is okay. So the term I will use again, as you hear me say it, is trauma porn, right? A lot of times poetry, we try, well, not we, a lot of people try to talk about the most worst and most horrible thing and blah, 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 blah. Well, compliment deathmatch is something totally different outside of that league. You are going to create poetry on the spot, complimenting your opponent. 30 seconds. You got to compliment them. Example. You know what? When I met you, it seemed that the fires in me had been quenched. But when I heard your poetry, I felt the fires rise again. I know that you verily have a purpose here, woman of God. I honor you, T. Blaze. You are the bomb. I just won the compliment death match right now.
Yeah.
On the spot, you know what I'm saying? Complimenting T Blaze. So this is a community builder. This is going back and forth, and whoever can give the best compliments wins. Sounds crazy, don't it? It's like a whole battle, but we battling like, you look hecka nice, yo.
That's different. I like
dig you.
Yeah, I like that.
But you gotta be poetic with it, though. You gotta be quick and poetic with it. You know what I'm saying? I heard one talking about someone's blonde hair reflecting the sun and making them know that they had growth. I'm like, it got deep.
And
Like,
how long can a haiku be?
a haiku is 17 syllables. Syllables. Say it with me. Syllables. For those of you who
Syllables.
are like North American, it's syllables, okay? Yes, T-Blaze. So a haiku is 17 syllables, and it is 575 format. But in some places it can range between 15 to 18. You know, it's a little wiggle room there. Normally a haiku is traditionally about nature, you know, but in the haiku death match it doesn't have to all be about nature, and the person with the best haikus win. So the art of brevity, syllables, can you fit into 17 syllables something poignant and something that will grip the audience? Can you give me a one-liner? Can you give me that 17 syllable haiku? Let me tell you a haiku that has gotten half the people in the nation. Are y'all ready for it? Are y'all ready for this haiku? INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? Count it out. It's 17 syllables. You know what I'm talking about? That's why it's so catchy. This is why it's important to know your art forms, because a lot of these rappers are also using poetry forms. This is why their songs are so catchy. Take that to your students. I learned it from somebody else. I'm passing it on to you. Hey. Okay. But yeah, I mean, 17 syllables can be as simple as something Lil Boosie said. But hey, it got to be your original work though. Okay. So, that being said, we talked about Arson, Spitfire, Mike Nights. Well, not exhaustively, right? First Tuesdays we have hosted by the incomparable Jessica Ayala. Yo, listen, she is a beast. She is a boss. She just is, okay? She is. Second Tuesdays, hosted by John Lewis, aka Hypocrisy, aka Poetry. That is his brand. If you've seen anybody rocking Poetry's shirts with the phonetic spelling, that is the brand of Mr. John Hypocrisy Lewis. And he will be hosting Tuesday nights. Third Tuesdays will be hosted by Music and More Foundation, T.L. Williams.
Yep.
Fourth Tuesdays will be hosted by Arson Press. Fourth Tuesdays is the Slam. Who is Arson Press?
Who is that?
Who that is?
Who is that? Where they at?
Yo, listen, more information. Starting a publishing company.
Is that right?
Starting a publishing company, son.
That's power.
That's power. And it's not power just for me. We don't have enough representation as people of color in publishing.
Nope.
We don't have enough representation as people of color in distribution. Oh, your baby's in here. Miss Terry says hi. Helen says, why are you talking to me right now? It's the morning. I haven't eaten anything. She has the low eyes. Okay, anywho. We don't have enough representation in publishing and distribution.
Nope.
As writers. And in those fields, a lot of times when people of color and when people of the Midwest come in, we are often denied positions. We are often looked over. We are often measured by the stick that is the rate of approval by the rest of the world. However, our counterparts are not always measured the same. Correct. So if we come into trying to publish, trying to put out authorship and different things like that, do you have a MFA, BFA, bachelor's in literature, English, what are your credentials? Some of us are simply publishing our life story. Some of us, our life story is our poetry, and we have been writing our whole lives and are learned in many different ways. But a lot of times we are shut out, or if we are let in, they have editors and people who are working around us that would try to shape our narrative outside of the way that we're trying to shape our own narratives. Dig me? Feel me? Okay. In Kansas City, I think in my head I can think of 2 people of color that have publishing companies. 2. One is solely Christian, and I champion that. The other is, she's not completely up and running. Okay, that's 3. I forgot about Penny Publishing. I am a minister. I am Christian. I do believe in Christians publishing. However, this publishing is for all of us. It is for everybody, no matter what your belief system is. I believe in inviting in the entire community. Don't get me wrong. We need to believe in your work. Your work needs to be on point. And this is not the publishing company that's just going to throw you out the door if it's not. I believe in working with you. I have people who will work with you.
And that's why you have workshops.
That's why we have workshops. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe in uplifting our community. What do you want to publish? What is your purpose for publishing it? Maybe it's not your purpose to be on the New York Times bestseller list. Maybe you just want to get these words out. Maybe you want to circulate it amongst your family. Whatever your purpose is, let's assign that purpose a destination and get her done. Right? Right. You know what I'm saying? Right now, as a company, I am working on my official status so that I can have protections in place for the people who I work with, as well as protections for myself. Here is a tip. When going through a publishing company, figure out, how are they set up? How are they organized? What protections do they have in place for themselves? And furthermore, what protections would be in place for you? This is why I say that. If somebody comes after you about your book, 9 times out of 10, that publishing company is going to trickle that on down to you. Like, your story trickled right on down to you. Get with a publishing company, a publisher that's going to protect you. Get somebody that's going to protect you. And in that protection, you know what? They need to be not afraid to tell you no, and not afraid to tell you why they told you no. Rejection ain't good enough for me. Ask anybody who I've applied to a grant for. Okay? You gonna tell me why it's a no. I'm gonna research, I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna figure out who's around. I'm gonna ask these questions. Okay, I was denied for this. Why is it a no? So I can get better and do better next time, right? Same thing with your publishing company. If someone's operating in your community, it can't just be a no. There needs to be a reason behind the no. Yes, publishing companies do have the right to say no. They do. And they don't have to give you a reason. Purpose Publishing, we're going to give you a reason. I said Purpose Publishing, Lord Jesus. Arson Press is going to give you a reason, okay? So that is my soapbox about publishing, about getting published, about dealing with people working in that environment, making sure that you're able to have cultural conversations with your editors, especially if you are releasing work that's in your own language. Making sure that people guide you in marketing, because you are going to have to market yourself. Marketing tip. Market your book while you're writing it. T-Blaze, I see you said you're slowly working on a book. Consider this your first bit of marketing. Put it out there that you're writing a book. Don't just wait till the book is finished. You can market the whole time, do pre-sales, and get those pre-sales to pay for the printing of the book. You feel me? So that's one of the ways. Another thing, your party, your book release party, that has a function, that also recoups all the money that you put into making that book. You should be able to reorder books after your book birth party, right? I see that. So your first one was self-published, and this is T-Blaze again, through CreateSpace and sold on Amazon since 2012. I do actually have that book. Love Like This isn't the name of it. She'll answer me in just a second. Go ahead.
The Music More Foundation just launched its own newspaper within the Dispatch Post USA. So how can we help with your workshops and with Arts and Press?
Glad you asked.
Yay.
So let me answer T-Blaze first. Yes, the first one was self-published. I do remember it, Love Like This. And I do have a copy of it. Hey, don't get sexy on it one time. Self-publishing is good. Self-publishing is a lot of the way that bigger publishers are finding some of their people. They're like, oh my God, if she was able to sell 50,000 on her own, we gotta pick her up, because they feel like they gonna make their money off of you, right? It's all a numbers game. This second one will be different in that, are you saying that you want to go through a publisher? This is what I will say. Everything I said about publishing, plus maybe we should sit down and have a consultation. I self-published my first 2 books. And let's be transparent. I am not the best marketer. I've sold a good amount of books, but I've learned this about marketing. Like I said, market while you're writing it. Your book market, wherever you're selling it, is where you'd better be. If I want to sell in North Dakota, guess what? I'm going to have to make a trip. Mm-hmm. Unless I got arms there that reach, that will, put out and consistently saturate that market. To Terrence's question, T.L. Williams.
Yes.
Yo, he been out here making platforms for us for how long?
7 or 8 years, I believe.
Man,
I try.
You try hard. You succeed.
Thank you.
We on the air now, Okay, we'll get to cover art in just a second. So the Music and More Foundation not only sponsors the radio shows, so that's one. When we have a new person coming out with a book, I would love them to be able to do a radio tour, not just on KUAW, but on various stations, and we'll build that network, right? Mm-hmm. Another thing is T.L. Williams did just make are you calling it a magazine, or are you?
No, it's just a newspaper.
Just a newspaper. Yeah. So he has made a newspaper. There was a town hall meeting at the beginning of this year, which we committed to having one every quarter, but we haven't had another one. At this town hall meeting, we talked about and spoke about what do we need for the poetry community. Mother Mary, genius that she is. Genius, right? Said that, jazz culture and music and musicians have magazines. We don't have nothing like that for our community here. And the only thing I've seen like that does come out of Chicago. And I will help you, Mother Mary, with the books. But I need to pull you in on this magazine that you mentioned in February. I don't forget. I am the elephant in the room. Rawr, roar. Anywho, can't feed me peanuts, though. That's another issue. We'll talk about that during workshops. Get your money. But what I'm saying is we need a magazine. We have a newspaper, thanks to T.L. Williams. If you would like to run the ads for the books in the newspaper, that would be dope.
Yeah.
Encouraging more reading, out of your readership.
10,000 readers.
10,000 readers. And those newspapers are on 18th and Vine?
18th and Vine, the new Lapari Sunfresh grocery store.
Okay.
It's everywhere. Everywhere David Jordan puts them, he spreads them out.
And David Jordan is widening his reach.
Yeah, he is.
He is, prayer of Jabezing it up out here. He's enlarge my territory. Anybody know that song? I can't sing right now. My voice is half gone. Work with me. You know what I'm saying? Work with me. Anywho. Yeah, he's enlarging his territory right now. So that newspaper is going to go further, and it's going to do a lot for our community, for the poetry community.
Because it is our community.
Because it is our community, because we speak about our community, because we love our community. So we are going to market in there. How else can Music and More help? Music and More has had a history of also helping to put on book release parties.
Oh, yeah.
helped to sponsor at least 6 I know of, right?
That's a lot, really.
Which tells
I
me
just don't keep
also
track. I just do.
that 6 people published here
Tight.
and they're getting read. And you were able to give them baby showers. That's what I look at book release parties as. They're baby showers. We're birthing and presenting something to the world. The people who are coming to the shower are showering with gifts, which is,
Buying
I
the
want
book.
you in my world.
Uh-huh.
Right? When you buy a book, you're telling the author and the work, I want you in my world. You're welcoming that art to the world. So book release parties are very much baby showers. You know what I'm saying? The people are bringing gifts. They don't have to bring you a diaper cake. You come in and eat some cake and buy this book, though. You know what I'm saying? So, by the way, this is better than water fitness this morning. Don't you be making excuses, even though I need to come down there and get in on water fitness. I'm about to have a surgery myself. So I'm needing to build some more muscle, but that's another thing. Back to this thing. Cover art and you being someone who has a whole bunch of books. First off, cover art can be anything, but let me tell you this. Your cover art does need to resonate with what is inside of the book. And it needs to resonate with you as an artist. Let me give you an example. I went through a whole lot first to get this cover art that I had. And there was a lady in California, and she's a Black-owned business. And I was like, I want to patronize a Black-owned business. I would like to patronize local, but she seems pretty dope. She puts her work out. She puts out information, yada, yada, yada. Patronized her. She said, you know, I'm like, and I'm on a slim budget. Like, I got $75, bruh. Paid $75. Because, you know, we always are producing on a shoestring budget. Let's call it what it is. But there are resources for things like this. Inspiration grants you can write to help you get the resources to put money into your book publishing so that you can further yourself as an artist. But we'll talk about that in a second, right? But anyway, if you don't have that grant, you don't have that, you on your own budget. You working to support your house and you got to put some money into this. I get it. I know the struggle, right? And she pussyfooted around. I don't know what was going on. I kept asking, hey, is it ready? Is it this? My publisher said they needed it this time, at this time. All deadlines broken. Never sent it. Oh, I sent. No, you didn't. You know, she finally sent it to me and it was beautiful. And I will post a picture of it when I get to it. It was beautiful. It was exquisite. It was wonderful. It was artful. It was this face that was built and all this stuff with these letters and everything. It also looked like a romance novel instead of a poetry book.
Did she have romance poetry?
This was my book.
Oh, that's your book.
You know better.
Oh, you don't do love poems.
I'm hardcore. I don't like love poems.
Oh.
I'm out here fighting the part. The book is called Black Girl Shattered.
Oh, yeah.
The original cover art was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And did not fit my book.
Yeah, put it on your page. I didn't see the original.
I'ma
I
have
guess
to
nobody's
post
seen
it.
the original, right?
I may have posted it once,
Uh-huh.
but I was like, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit.
Oh.
At the last minute, meaning at the 13th hour, they put together some images and different things that was
The same people?
no.
Okay, different
My
people.
editors and publisher
Okay.
put some stuff together that was actually the spirit of the book and the premise of the book, because my book is built on people and women being shattered, and I took that from the Japanese art of kintsugi, where instead of putting things back together with clear glue, they put it back together with gold and enamel, and it highlights the cracks and it tells the story of the piece and makes the piece more valuable. I feel like we as humans, we always trying to hide our brokenness. No, you show me how you got over. You have gold in them cracks.
That's right.
Right? Help me out. So that was the spirit of the book, and I got this beautiful cover that did not match it.
Tragic.
Cover art needs to match the book. Another thing I would suggest, don't make your face your cover. Unless you TD Jakes. Don't nobody know you, man. Don't make your face your cover. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just saying, these are things that I have learned and that I've found out. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot me. Unless you TD Jakes, unless you're Donald Trump, unless you're Obama, either one, because Michelle, come on, come through with your face. Come through, I need to see your face. But me, not so much. If you notice, only my very first book, I had my face as the cover because I did it. And I also had a filter over my face of the RGB. So I made my face into art. It wasn't just my straight on face like this is Sherry.
Right.
It was filter RGB. And it was smaller on a black plain background.
That's red, green, blue.
Yes. Red, green, blue. If you listen to KUAW, you don't know the red, green, and blue, we're going to have a workshop about that. I mean, the RGB, red, green, and black. We're going to have a workshop about that. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, don't make your face your cover. I would argue, Mother Mary, you have been around the world. Your face possibly could be your cover.
Yes.
It depends on how global you are and what the artistic nature, what the aesthetic of your face is. Right. So Terry says she did because she was known around KC and had a good buzz hiking as a performer. It's levels to this. However, if you want your book to do good outside of KC, it's not going to serve you as well as a different aesthetic. Just so you know, like I said, don't shoot the messenger. These are things that I've learned, right? Your cover art, like I said, should also match inside. And yeah, when you don't have an artist, you do what you can. Here's another example, the Pop Poetry series of books. Pop poetry, one of the stipulations of it was that you had to have a selfie as your picture. Okay, cool. But what they did with pop poetry, they made these selfies into works of art. Once again, they were artistic. They were blown up. They were seen in different ways. They weren't just a straight on face like you would see a Trump book. And let me write down some. It'll have to get posted this evening because I have a women's conference to go to. Stomp. If you're able to get to the Plaza Library, do so. But I forgot what I was saying. Pop poetry. They made the faces, the editing on them, they made them cover art. They blew them up, made them different, put different things with them. They did a really good job with using selfies as cover art, something that is normally not advised to do.
It was probably easier for them.
It was easier, because you give them a baseline to work with. The favorite cover I have of pop poetry is Frederick Sims.
I like Jose Faustus.
I like his too. I like Glenn. Glenn is a close second. Angela Rue is the third. Black Girl Magic Power Block coming out, but Frederick Sims, right there, his cover art was so dope because it was his face and it was straight on. But the name of his book is Painting with Words. So he had paint drips down he had white face almost, I believe, and it was paint drips it was so dope. I'm like, yes, if you using your face as a work of art,
then use it as a work of art.
Use it as a work of art.
Yeah.
But don't just do your glamour shot, baby.
Glamour shot.
Don't do your glamour shot. Now, for your CD cover, that's whole different. That's different. That's a whole different genre, industry, yada, yada, yada. We ain't on the 90s like they used to be with Pens and Pixels, whatever. I know y'all ain't even heard that name of that company in so long. Pens and Pixels was doing covers for No Limit. They was doing covers for Grape Tree. Grape Tree is actually gospel rap. I don't know. Okay, here we are. We're back. But yeah, so maybe we'll, if you guys want it, we can have a book club publishing workshop to give you a little more information as well. Fountain Press is also having a book publishing fair. I believe it is the 13th and 14th of October at La Esquina Art Gallery. Look that up, La, L-A, Esquina, Esquina Art Gallery. It is right there on like 25th and Southwest Boulevard. Charlotte Street is behind them on this. You may want to get over to that too. There's going to be lots of publishers there. I'm not going to be there because I just created a publishing company. Feel me? Okay. And it's okay to be on the outs, Terry. It's okay. I'm still here and I love you. And it's okay to think you're clueless, Mother Mary. It's okay. You're not. For what you don't know about one thing, you have all the knowledge and wisdom about everything else. Before I was with this knowledge, let me tell you, I studied a lot. I studied a whole lot, and I was still scared to death of publishing. Just because I just didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. And it got to a point where God had to get me like, look, this is going to be out this year. And I self-published my first book December 31st of 2014. My book release party, Kwanzaa at the Gym Theater, because I was performing there. So when I tell you I've been through it, I know it. I understand the apprehension, the scariness, the feeling like you don't know anything. I had to go seek that knowledge, and I'm willing to share the knowledge and actually even open up a company to stand behind the knowledge, to continue to gain knowledge, to continue to protect my people and create distribution networks for us. So that's Arson Press. That took a long time. People was asking questions. Okay. On down to outside of Arson Press, because that is my company, East of Red Art House.
Yeah, what is that?
What is East of Red Art House? East of Red Art House is arts as activism, baby. That's what it is. East of Red Art House is actually going to be a brick and mortar art house on the east side of Troost in Kansas City, outside of the 18th and Vine district, because we need more areas where we are able to shape our own narratives. We also need areas where, not just outside of 18th and Vine, but way east of Troost, not just on the east side of Troost Street. In building an art house and having an area for people to commune, I am hoping that other investors come in and also build businesses surrounding that, give our people jobs in those neighborhoods that they can walk to and not have to bus to, that give our people hope. I am also doing this as a function to be able to disseminate information to our people, because a lot of the grants that I apply for, a lot of the things that I look at, a lot of the things that I go for, a lot of the information that I have, I ain't got it on the east side of the Troost. I have to go where the information is being given and take that and do something with it. And I want to be a station where I can give out information, where you find out about these grants and practices and different things that our other people find out about. So East of Red Art House right now does not have they do, I agree. I'm not even going to say that out loud on the air, but if you're watching the live, you will see what she just commented. What I was saying is that I lost my whole train of thought. And coming back, bring it back. Yes. So, a lot of the things that we don't find out about, and they'll say, oh yeah, they're there. And then you'll look at statistics like, 30% of we only got like, not even 30, we only got like 10% black people as applicants. And we have this out there. They're just not applying for it. Well, why not? Because they didn't know. Because they didn't know. They didn't have the knowledge. And knowledge is power.
That's right.
Because we're on KUAW. That's knowledge, right. Understanding, and wisdom. Come through with the station plug. Okay. But we can't continue to operate like this. We have to give ourselves a leg up, a fighting chance. And yes, Easter Red Art House is my baby right now, and I'm creating her and gaining board members in a 501c3 and a brick and mortar. And right now we are curating events all around the city for Easter Red Art House, including this Arson Spitfire Mike Nights. We are creating and cultivating multiple events around the city to put the name of Easter Red out there. But guess what? Easter Red is a nonprofit. One day I may not be over it. One day I may be able to hand the gauntlet down to somebody else who will continue to care for their community. But guess what is mine? Arson Press. Ha ha ha. This is why you create two different streams of business. That was a little bit of free education there for you, right? Mind you, I learned this, again, hanging out with all kinds of different other folks.
Networking.
So, networking, hanging out, gleaning from, having mentorship, getting all that information. So if you don't know, now you know.
That's right.
Upcoming events. Yo, I am the performance coordinator for Tangled Roots. Next week, next Friday to be exact, at 7 p.m., there will be a Lit Fest. Literature Lit Fest at Tangled Roots at the Interurban Art House. Look that up, Interurban Art House. Like them on Facebook. They have definitely had my back for years. Nicole Emanuel is dope. This is actually my second iteration of Tangled Roots. Hopefully there is a third. And I'm excited for this Lit Fest. There's also a huge downtown Overland Park festival taking place that wraps up Tangled Roots on September 29th. All of these activities are free. Let me come around this microphone and look at this live. Free.
Free.
They just had, my allergies are acting up. Excuse me for just like keep scratching my nose. You know, radio used to just be radio. Anywho.
Not no more.
Not fooling with T.L. Williams.
Nope.
You gonna be on the camera. But they just had on Friday night even the person who does Mid-America Alliance grants there giving out information. They regularly have information sessions. Get connected with Interurban Art House. I hope to be just like them on the side of Missouri. Get connected with Interurban. I promise you, you won't regret it. They even have a membership platform to where you can be a member coming into their workshops for, you know, for your membership, all of that. You do need a pen and paper to be live with me. Look here, I'm a preacher. Okay? If you ain't at church with a pen and paper, you ain't learning. Okay? Preach. This happens to be my pulpit. I love educating my community. And I love y'all. But, yeah, so Interurban Art House, September 21st, Lit Fest, featuring some good and dope authors. And maybe we just might open the mic for you. I don't know. Bring your books. I am willing to have my table open for anybody who has books. If you're there, if you want to sell books, holla at your girl. You know what I'm saying? The 29th, I don't know if there are still booth spaces, but holla at me if you want a booth space, and I will let someone know that the 29th, the festival, we have all kinds of booths set out for people to be able to sell their wares, their items, their books, for people to be able to get out there who they actually are. Let me know if you need space. You know what I'm saying? I want us, I'm all about Easter Red, all about Easter the Red Line, but expand your world vision, come out here, network, and meet with people, Overland Park, Olathe, Lee Summit, go do the thing, meet people, expand. That's how you get hired for different things, okay? So let's see, we talked about Arson Spitfire Mike Nights, we talked about Arson Press, we talked about Easter Red Art House, we talked about the new newspaper. What's the name of that newspaper?
It's a very long name. It's the Music and More Foundation Arts and Entertainment Newspaper. I'm gonna have to shorten it though.
Okay,
or
so
just call
TMMF.
it TMMF, A&E. It's an A&E.
TMMF, A&E. That's some Alphabet Boys stuff. We'll figure that out. Hello, love. Siobhan Standifer is watching me now feel important. That's Rahman's mom. I love her energy and the way she go hard for her child. It's like, yes. So we have talked about the newspaper. We have talked about the necessity still for a magazine, and and we have talked about publishing. We have covered quite a bit of ground today. Also, to let you know, For the Win Slam just put out an announcement the other day.
They sure did.
That For the Win is moving to the Crossroads. So, if you're a supporter of For the Win, coming back like we never left. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close out because I love y'all. But I got to make it to a women's conference, boo. I got to make it to a women's conference. So, with that being said, this has been the Gospel of Poets. I am Sherry Hall.
And I'm T.L. Williams.
And God bless you. You can reach me, www.spokenpurpose.com. Reach the Gospel Poets at Facebook, /TGOPKC. And I will see you later. And yes, I will make that workshop a publishing workshop. Just did one for church. We'll do one for the community. Let's get it. Ta-ta. Woo! Bye. Woo, my allergies. Woo, bye. I was trying to hold it in.